So we're coming to the end of the semester, and I just had a few parting thoughts for you as we conclude this course. I think it's helpful to take a few minutes to reflect. Some of you may not be thinking about starting a business right now, but I hope that some of the concepts that we learn in this class will be helpful. This is where I grew up. My parents got married in 1973, and my dad was a school teacher, and he wasn't really good with people. And so he was having some problems as a school teacher. And my mom was somewhat entrepreneurial. She wanted to get into a business. And in 1978, they found this motel in northeast Wyoming where my dad was from. They paid $750,000. Of course, they didn't have that kind of money. With the help of my grandma, they had a down payment, but then the owner carried the note. And in the 1970s, interest rates were really high. The interest rate was 12%. And so every month they had a mortgage payment of about $6,000. And it was super stressful. In the late 70s, the natural resource industry kind of took a dive, and so some of the people that would come through in the winter stopped coming through. And so we were basically just dependent on business during the summer months. And little by little, our business failed. After 12 years, we lost it. My parents looked into trying to sell it, but you know how many people really want to buy a motel in a town of 1,500 people in Wyoming? And this was kind of before the internet. They tried to refinance. They couldn't figure that out. And so they ended up just giving the motel back to the owner and walking away with nothing to show for 12 years. It was really tough. I look back at that and I think, maybe if they would have known a few things, they might not have tried to get into that business. So that's the perspective that I come from. I grew up in a business where it was really painful. And so I'm trying to help you avoid that kind of thing. Another thing that I hope you learned is that you're trying to make an argument with the business plan. I tried to indicate to you that it's not an English paper. You're trying to do things that will stand out and be memorable. I hope you use some of these ideas in whatever you're doing when you're talking to other people and trying to come to a conclusion about something, when you're trying to convince someone at your business, wherever you're working, of something, that you'll have a claim and you'll figure out what are the logical reasons for that and then find evidence for that. Accept that there's limitations to your claim, boundaries. I think it'll matter in whatever you do. So I hope that's useful. We've also tried to talk about how a business plan has a different format and your goal is to make it persuasive. I've talked about making it skimmable and using infographics. Here I show you some resumes. You've all seen resumes. When you're trying to write something, you want to try to communicate in ways that are effective for that particular audience. I have a couple funny resumes here that you can look at. But the key is make it easy for them to find the information that they want to find in the way that they want to find it. So you have to know your audience. Here's an interesting one. This is a graphic designer. So obviously you need to show your graphic design skills. Make it persuasive. Here's a CPA and then also another more graphical resume. The point is that you're trying to match what the audience expects. For a CPA, you don't need to make it creative. They just want you to be able to do what you're supposed to do. If you're graphic designers, they want to be able to see that. I thought this was a really good resume. This is the kind of thing that work well with the type of business plan that we've talked about. Remember that you need to think about and make it easy for people to find the information that they want to find. In order to do that, you need to know your audience and what they're looking for. So a few parting thoughts. As I mentioned before, my parents, they really struggled financially, and I had this view that businesses were just trying to get money from people. But over time, I've changed my mind about that, and I think that if there's fair rules, businesses work when they solve people's problems. And that's a great thing. So you got to figure out the problems that you like. I've added a few videos here at the end. I've got a video here that I'll put on the page from Warren Buffett about the type of attributes that you want to have. I would encourage you to follow this exercise that Warren Buffett recommends. Write down the things that you like about people that you admire. Write down the things that you don't like about people that you don't admire, and try to be more like the list of the people that you admire. Make a real plan. Like we did in this business plan, you learn a lot from the writing process, so I'd encourage you to do that in your own life. I've also got a little video here from this book called Startup Review. It uses ideas from startups to map out how you can be successful in your career. And I would encourage you to watch that little video and read the book or listen to the book on your own. So I wish you the best. I hope that you will achieve success in whatever your goals are. I'd love to hear from you as the years go on. Thanks a lot. Good luck in everything.